of these other people that I see on here, these lovely faces. Miss Marilyn, I don't know where you're from.
Hi, I grew up in East Harlem, El Barrio. Same
El
name.
barrio, ya tú sabes, ahí.
Yep, I live in New Jersey now. I got to see Tito Puente when I was a student at Montclair State University.
Wow.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I was so happy because that was the music my mom grew up on. So of course, through osmosis, it kind of infuses into you, born in Spanish Harlem and all. But,
¿Dónde tú eres?
de mi familia de Barceloneta.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was born and raised in New York, so I'm what you call a New Yorican.
Ajá, yo soy neoyorquino también.
Right.
Me too.
Spanish Harlem, let me tell you, Tito Puente, and of course there's a street named after Dad, 110th Street. Everybody, if you guys go to Manhattan, go check it out.
My mom grew up there.
Yeah, well then
I grew up on 116.
Oh, you're 116, La Marqueta, Mama, that's the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do the festival every year. Let me tell you, El Barrio is so instrumental in designing and creating some of the best mambo legends of our time. Not only with Tito Puente, born and raised there, right there in Spanish Harlem. Also, Tito Rodriguez and Machito, they all lived in this little 5-7 block area of El Barrio, New York. It's like Spanish Harlem right there. And they just created a sound on their own. You got Joe Cuba también. Man, there's so many great, talented people that came from just that little couple of square blocks of New York City.
My mother grew up there, was born and raised there.
In El Barrio, Nueva York. Fantastic, man. There were some great clubs in that area too. And
But she didn't go to clubs.
yeah, I got you. All right, she didn't go to the club, so she was cool like that. But if you think about it, Spanish Harlem is right next to actual Harlem, New York. And my father was one of the first Hispanics to play at the Apollo Theater, which was all black.
Oh,
so
my God.
my father combined the two neighborhoods together. Afro-Cuban music, Puerto Rican people, and mixed with the black people. And my father was one of the first to play at the Apollo Theater. And he didn't get booed either, which was great.
Wow, that's awesome.
Incredible.
Remember that little club, Minton's? Remember
Minton's.
Minton's?
Yeah, we love Minton's.
Yes, he also did the Cotton Club too there in Harlem as well. Many places, and he combined those two worlds where you have the blues and the jazz of Dizzy Gillespie and Duke Ellington and all that. My father combined those two worlds along with Machito with his Afro-Cuban All-Stars, Mario Balsa. Those are some really fantastic and amazing musicians that paved the way for my father to become who he was. Also, Tito Puente was one of the first drummers. And Dave, you could relate to this. Drummers were always placed in the back of the orchestra. He said, and Machito was one of the first guys to bring Tito Puente in the front. I think my dad was about 19 years old, and they put him in the front because he was so good. And he did a solo, and from that day forward, you saw Tito Puente in the front, and then he created his own band. He was called the Piccadilly Boys, but then he became Tito Puente and his orchestra with him front and center. First innovative drummer to go in the front of an orchestra and lead a band. Really cool.
I never thought of it that way. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's a big difference too, like playing guitar in bands and playing drums in bands.
Mm-hmm.
So, guitar, you're up front with everyone, you're interacting with the crowd. And when I do the drum gigs, I'm so far back and you realize I'm like, no, I don't even know if anyone's noticing what I'm here.
Right. But you're the one, they need you because you're giving the cues and the time. You're keeping it all.
Absolutely.
So
the crowd's focus is always so much on the guys up,
right.
And it's just
right.
Live in those both those worlds, and it's interesting to get both sides of it. You know what I mean? So
yes, yeah, and it's I'm so grateful that other drummers took after that. Even female drummers like my homegirl Sheila E. put in front and center, bringing timbales in.
Oh my God, one of my favorites.
Oh man, let me tell you, that is the world's greatest female drummer. She plays in stilettos.
I love her. She's amazing.
An incredible drummer. She is the goddaughter of my father. So I love her family, Pete Escovedo, the whole Escovedo family. I mean,
oh my God. And she didn't even want to perform. Like, she didn't want to go in front of everybody. She wanted to be in the back as a drummer.
He was a conga player and a drummer first, and yes, then they pushed her in the front, and she's just incredible. And I challenge any female out there to battle her. You're gonna get your hands full, dirty. She's incredible. I even go up to her and I'm like, "You're awesome, you're awesome," and she's like, "Cut it out, you're my little brother." You know?
I'm a huge fan of hers too.
Yeah,
Huge.
fantastic, fantastic. And I'm glad that she was inspired by her father, Peter Escovedo, and my father, Tito Puente. I mean, Dad was so innovative in his drumming style that drummers were starting to play timbales, such as Sheila and Pete. And just incredible timbaleros that throughout a life lasted, are still with us even till today. The ones from Fania All-Star, Nicky Marrero, Jimmy Delgado, Jose Madera. These guys are just incredible percussion players, and they've all been influenced by Tito Puente. My dad was very innovative in his style and his unique playing too. He would do paradiddles, let sub-stroke rolls, and still stay in clave, that 3/4 time that really made people dance. And that's what people would be shocked. They would be dancing and then stop and look at Puente on the stage, do the incredible solos, and then go back into the swing of it. Just something very unique, and it's so magical. I don't think any other drummer can do something like that unless it was a complete solo for that drummer.
Very cool. Well, you know what that's going to lead us into, right? Because I know what's parked right beside you, Tito.
I want that shirt behind you. It says "Got Mambo."
I'll trade you a shirt for a drum solo.
Oh, really? Okay.
Ah, let's go.
All right. She's going to send me a piece of thread.
Tito, are you going to play something before we go? Give us a
Okay, I just wanted to share this really cool picture of me and Pop together.
Oh, cute.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
It.
Yeah, I keep it close to me. I have his pictures all over the house and everything, and of course, I keep them close to my heart and all that. So I'm gonna play a little solo. It's not gonna be long at all, but these are the last drums. And if you guys check out the last concert of Tito Puente, it's gonna be a nice 20th anniversary tribute to Tito Puente. I'll be performing with my orchestra.
Where do we go to listen?
Virtually, September 6th. September 6th, 6 p.m.
September 6th p.m. Okay. My
It's a
birthday.
Sunday. And I'll be with, we're going to do a nice tribute to my father. I'll have my orchestra, and La Muñeca de la Salsa, Melina Modevar, will be joining us. We'll do a nice little tribute to Celia Cruz as well. And tune in. It's going to be great. September 6th, 6 p.m. Go right on my Facebook page. I'll be live right on it.
On Facebook? On Facebook?
Facebook.com/Tito Puente Jr. It'll also be on YouTube as well. You can subscribe to my YouTube page, Tito Puente Jr. Everything's Tito Puente Jr. And follow me on Instagram as well. But it'll be live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time.
We'll be watching.
Tito,
Yeah.
what was the name of the album that you held up before? The dance album that you were showing, the red one?
Dance Mania.
Okay, this record here is called Dance Mania. It's probably one of the most popular
Okay.
albums of Tito Puente. It has some fantastic tunes, cha-cha-chas, rumbas, El Cayuco's on here.
Cayuco.
Agua Limpia Todo, Saca Tu Mujer, some fantastic records or tunes. And this one was one of the top 100 albums of the century, and very definitive. If you guys are looking to do some mambos or cha-cha-chas, pick this one up. And by the way, if you look at a lot of Tito Puente records, you might not see him on the cover. Well, he's usually on the cover of all his albums, but this one, he had to put this girl on it, and it did the best. It sold the most. So I always tell my father is that you got to put mom on the covers of these things, and you'll sell some more records.
That's great.
Good record. Dance Mania, volumes 1 and 2.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's your mom?
That is not.
Oh.
That is not. My mom was born in 1943. So this record came out then. So she was just a baby. So this is probably a young lady that was at the first Copacabana.
It's on iTunes.
Yes, it is on iTunes, and you get Spotify. It's everywhere.
Right.
And Tito Puente's music is practically all over the place. So, but yeah, look for it, and then check out my records too. I did a nice tribute record to my father in 2004 called En los Pasos de mi Padre, and that's Tito Puente Jr. And then I did one called Got Mambo too as well in 2010.
Yeah.
And check it out. And I can't wait for this new one to come out already.
Yeah, us too. We're super excited.
I know. What's wrong with me? I'm doing records every 10 years. What the hell?
Well,
And you know what I do in the meantime? Perform all over the place. But I'm so excited now. I got this downtime to actually record a record. So
My favorite is Mambo Diablo. Do do dum 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 dum. Do 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 dum 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 dum. Fantastic record. I love Mambo Diablo, man. I think a lot of dancers love that song. And my father plays the marimba, the vibes on that song.
Yeah.
So really, really up-tempo, great tune. Mambo Diablo. I love that song. I think I might do that on September 6th.
Oh, you see, I'll be looking for that then.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I knew how to play vibes, though. I'm going to have to get a vibe player.
I also love Sun Goddess.
Yo, really good song.
Really
Wow.
good song. Really good.
That's like
really
a deep
good.
cut. Wait, how did you know that one? That's like a deep
Because
cut.
that's my vibe, man.
His generation.
That's my
That's a
vibe.
deep cut, man. Nobody knows that.
I know that.
Very
Yeah, he
classic
requests me to
tune.
play it every other night.
This Jewish kid from Long Island knows that.
Wow. Very, very good song. Man, that's a classic. It's amazing that you, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get that in.
We play it a lot in our kitchen, having dinner.
Yeah, Sun Goddess, man. You know, they used to tell my father all the time, Tito, could you play that Santana song? And my father would get offended, and he'd be like, "What are you talking about? Yeah, could you play that Oye Como Va Santana tune, Mr. Puente?" And my dad would be like, "Carl, well, who, that's my song. I played that first." And then one day, the story is that one day my father got a royalty check in 1972 or 71, right when the Abraxas album came out for Carlos Santana, and it had a lot of zeros on it. So now when people ask me, "Hey, Tito, can you play the Santana tune?" My dad would say, "Yes, I'll play the Santana tune for you." Gets paid for it anyway.
That's great.
Yeah, he had some great stories. I miss him a lot, and I'm so grateful that he still has fans like everybody here. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys make our family more grateful every day to know that we had a great father, spirituality of an icon, and of course one of the greatest percussion players of our time. And I'm so grateful that each and every fan here and around the world still listen to his music and still buys music and still
All the time.
it's so magical. And even just television shows, Mambo Kings, Radio Days, Simpsons. My dad was on The Simpsons. Who shot Mr. Burns? I mean, come on. It was like just wild. And I didn't realize how popular he was. And it's unfortunately, since his passing, his popularity, of course, has grown. Simply his music has. But he was so incredibly humble. And it's nice to see a little poor Puerto Rican boy from Spanish Harlem get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
Tito Puente. Very, very cool. So thank you all.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tito. This was wonderful having you here, and all of you guys for joining us. It was a really special evening. I was happy to meet some new faces too. So I hope you'll join. We try to do this weekly. We have a guest next week, Thursday as well, Susie Levin, who is an author of a book called Getting to Forgiveness. She had a near-death experience and pretty much changed her life, and she's going to share with us how she meditates and keeps herself, you know, her health and wellness like in a good place. So join us for that one. And then we have some more lined up for this summer. But again, thank you for coming this evening. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. And I hope to see you next week.
Aside from the Facebook that we saw, how do we find out about these events? Where do we go to?
Yeah, so if you go to our publication, which is called LatinBizToday.com,
Okay.
you'll see there. And also that would be the tags also for social media for Facebook and for Instagram. Latin Biz Today or Latin Biz Today.
Okay.
Yep. So go
Thank
on
you.
there.
This was wonderful. This was wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All
It was
right.
nice reminiscing.
Yeah, right? I know some really great stories from everybody, so.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. and
Have a
stay
good
safe.
night.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Tina, I just want to say thank you very much to you for doing this. You're such a fantastic lady, and I'm very proud of that you can bring Latinos together and musicians and people of all colors, creeds. That's what we need right now. America needs it. The world needs it. We all got to be one right now. We're all in this together, guys. definitely listen to Tito Puente music. I promise each and every one of you that your days will go by brighter and faster, and soon we'll be back out on the dance floors. So, and I want to thank Corona Beer too for sponsoring us. Yo, let me just give shouts out to everybody because I think everybody here deserves one. Lenny, I love you. Thank you. Alyssa, pleasure meeting you. Deb, Miss Marilyn, Tristan, how are you? And Dave, Ivy, Gina, your dad, the whole family. Muchísimas gracias. Saludos para toda mi gente, todos los fanáticos de Tito Puente y Tito Puente Jr. Gracias a ustedes. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You guys know how to do it. And be safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And I'll see you on the dance floor real soon, guys, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Gracias.
¡Huepa!
¡Huepa! Chévere. Right.